Alright, so here's the speech, Controversy of Changing Drinking Age Back to 18. Here's my audience. This is Judy Atkinson, Ethan Kryzak, Jacob Kryzak, Paula Kryzak, and Leon Atkinson. Here's their handouts that I'm handing them. There you go. There you go. Alright. Well, my name is Megan Atkinson. Today we'll be going over the controversy case of changing the drinking age back to 18, which is currently now 21. So the primary focus of the speech is not designed to convince you to change your mind about the drinking age. It is designed that each side has its own points in whether or not to change the drinking age. Now we will explore the different reasons for changing the drinking age from 21 back to 18. Alright, so our specific objectives of today are: 1. Participants will see the pros and cons of dropping the legal age to drink. And within those pros and cons is going to be how it helps with the tax revenue. Third, more jobs will be available to younger people. And fourth, it will cut down on underage drinking and binge drinking in colleges. So, here's a little bit of background of when the drinking age went from 18 to 21, the reason why. So, why did it change in the first place? Well, back in 1984, the federal government passed what is called the Minimum Drinking Age Act, that's under 23 United States Code Section 158. So pretty much what happened was the federal government proposed this code to all the states. The states had the option to either adopt it into their code or reject it. Well, Texas, we decided to reject it. 2 years later, in 1986, the federal government decided, well, we want the federal drinking age to everyone be 21, so whenever people go state to state, it won't be different. And the federal government threatened to take away the state funding for the highways. So Texas didn't want that because we have a really big state and we have a lot of roads. So that is why we are now have to drink till we're 21. During this presentation, you're going to see a lot of MLDA. And what that means is the minimum legal drinking age. So I'm going to be abbreviating that for a little bit shorter. So first off, we're going to go over the pros of the legal drinking age, of lowering the drinking age. So first, 18 is the age of adulthood in the United States. And adults should have the right to make their own decisions about alcohol consumption. Turning 18 receiving the rights and responsibilities of adulthood to vote, smoke cigarettes, serve on juries, get married, sign contracts, be prosecuted as adults, and join the military, which includes risking one life. So that's one of the major points of why everyone always says, well, I'm 18, I can serve in the military, I can do all this, why can't I drink? And I have a lot of friends that are in the military, which I know y'all do too, that are in the military and they can't drink unless they go overseas and they can. Allowing 18 to 20-year-olds to drink alcohol, it regulates environments with supervision and would increase unsafe drinking activity, and prohibiting this age group from drinking in bars, restaurants, and other licensed locations causes them to drink in unsupervised places such as fraternity houses or house parties, where they may be more prone to binge drinking and other unsafe activities and behaviors. So whenever people that are younger than 21, they can go to bars and drink, but their family, or they may be raised that their parents were able to drink, their parents tell them stories, stuff like that. So when they're 18, they're like, well, my parents got to drink when they were 18, I should be able to too. So they're going to go find a way, either way, to go drink, whether it's legal or not, they're doing it anyways. So lowering the drinking age would keep them more safe because they'll be able to go to bars, they'll be able to go to restaurants and drink instead of going to house parties where they have the potential to get roofied, get drugs while they're drinking because they don't know where the alcohol came from. Get a drink real quick. Alright. So, the decrease in drunk driving fatalities as a percentage of total traffic fatalities in the United States does not concentrate to the MLDA. Since 1982, 2 years prior to the Uniform Drinking Age Act established an MLDA of 21, a decline of drunk driving fatalities occurred across all age groups and demographics categories, and therefore cannot be related to the MLDA of turning 21. So, and also lowering the MLDA from 21 to 18 will diminish the thrill of breaking the law to get drunk. Normalizing alcohol consumption as something done responsibly in moderation will make drinking alcohol less of a taboo for young adults entering college into the workforce. So whenever someone turns 18 or whenever they turn 21, it's like this big thing. If everyone, when they turn 18, they're able to go buy lottery tickets, they can smoke, they can do everything else. It's not that big of a deal to them if they can also drink alcohol. So they're not going to go out and party all the time like they would now. Alright, so the MLDA 21 is largely ineffective because the majority of teens continue to consume alcohol. According to the National Center of Advocation and Substance Abuse, underage drinking accounts for 17.5%, so it's $22.5 billion of consumer spending for alcohol in the United States. In 2006, 72.2% of 12th graders reported drinking alcohol at some point in their lives. So it's happening anyways. And if we just go ahead and let the 18-year-olds drink, that $22.5 billion will be able to go into the economy for more revenue. Mm-hmm. So it'll be able to expand the economy and we won't have the giant deficit that we do. Okay, and also lowering the MLDA would reduce the number of underage people who get hurt from alcohol-related injuries or accidents due to the fear of legal consumption consequences if they sought medical attention. So a lot of people that are under 18 or under 21, they go to a party, they get alcohol poisoning. They need to go to the hospital to get their stomach pumped. They're scared to because what are they going to do if when they go to the hospital say I've been drinking? So the hospital can call the cops and report it and they can get a DUI. It can ruin the rest of their lives just because they're trying to seek medical attention for something that they did. Alright. Also, lowering the MLDA to 21 would be a good idea for the economy. More people would be legally be able to drink in bars, restaurants, and other licensed establishments. Revenue would increase for private businesses owners, and greater amounts of tax revenue would be able to be collected by the government. And also, right now, whenever you're 21, or when you're 18, you can legally serve alcoholic beverages. But if you're 18, you can, when you turn 18, you can smoke tobacco. But when you're 16, you can sell tobacco, but you can't touch alcohol, anything to do with alcohol. So if we also lower the drinking age to 18, we'll be able to open up the 16-year-olds to work in restaurants and stuff like that, not just as hosts, but as actual servers, so they can be able to touch and handle the alcohol. So we'll be giving the younger people more opportunities to work. Alright, does anyone see any other pros of lowering the drinking age? Yeah?
What was the question?
Does anyone see any other pros of lowering the drinking age?
Are we supposed to talk?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My way of thinking, lowering it to 18 is not gonna make any difference. If they're gonna drink, they're gonna drink. It just, like you said, makes it legal. Being legal don't mean it's right.
Yeah. So what his statement was is whether lowering the drinking age to 18 or not, that 18-year-olds are going to drink regardless, and doesn't mean that it's going to be right or wrong. So that's a good point. Anyone else?
And the fact that I have or had children under the age of 21, which one of them's over the age of 21 right now, and one is not. My 20-year-old is drinking right now at parties, like you said, house parties. So back to what he was saying is that if they're going to drink, they're going to drink regardless. So
I think parents should teach their 18, 19, 20-year-old how to drink responsibly.
Yeah.
And the dangers of alcohol poisoning and things like that. And realize that alcohol does change the way you see things and the way you perceive things.
And there's not a big stretch between 18 and 21 to me. I mean, I feel like at 21, they're not any more,
Responsible.
yeah, any more responsible than what they would be at 18 or any, you know. So there's not a big stretch between the two. If they're going to get drunk, they're going to get drunk regardless. So again, like you said, it would help the economy. They would be in an established where it's regulated. Although they would still probably have house parties and that as well. But again, I know when I turned 21, it was funny because I drank more when I was under the age of 21 than when I was 21 because I couldn't afford to buy my own alcohol. So, and it was provided to me when I was under 21. So it's funny because I drank more when I was under 21 than I was when I was over 21. So I think it's a rebellion thing too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, because I have a lot of friends that once they turned 21, they said, I don't even want to drink anymore because the thrill is gone.
Right.
And that's what was one of the points from earlier is whenever you're 18 and you're not 21, you already have all these drugs. And you're like, well, I should be able to drink too. And then they do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that rebellion thing that I want to go against the law. You know, I want to fight the government because we're 18, that's what we're supposed to do.
Well, I feel like if you can die for your country, you know, you should be able to, and you can vote as well, which I noticed that wasn't mentioned in there, but you can vote as well, then you should be able to make the decision at that age. Because like I said, it's not a big stretch between 18 and 21, you know, as far as being responsible. And it is up to the parent to teach their children about responsible drinking. As I have my kids, I'm constantly telling them, even my 23-year-old, you know, don't drink and drive, or if you go to a party, don't leave if you're drunk, you know. So, constantly, you can ask them.
And I don't feel like the government has the right one way or the other to tell you when you can and when you can't drink alcohol. The government, what good does it do for the government to say yes you can or no you can't?
Exactly, because it's our own free will. It's our decision to make it.
Right.
All right. So that is the pro section. So now we're going to look at the cons of lowering the drinking age. All right. So lowering the MLDA to 21, or from 21 to 18, would be medically irresponsible. Alcohol consumption can interfere with the development of young adult brains' frontal lobes, essential for the functions such as emotional regulation, planning, and organization. When alcohol consumption interferes with this early adult brain development, the potential for a choice for chronic problems such as greater vulnerable to addiction, dangerous risk-taking behaviors, and reduced decision-making ability, memory loss, depression, violence, and suicide is greater.
for young girls who get pregnant. It's dangerous for the fetus if they drink. It causes the fetal alcohol syndrome. And that's a hard thing to deal with.
Yeah. Alright. And then lowering the MLDA 21 to 18 would be irresponsible in allowing a greater segment of the population to drink alcohol in bars and nightclubs, which are not safe environments. 76% of bars have sold alcohol to oblivious intoxicated patrons, and about half of the drivers arrested for driving while intoxicated, DWI, or killed as alcohol-involved drivers in traffic crashes did their drinking at licensed establishments. Neighborhoods with higher densities of bars, nightclubs, and other alcohol-selling locations suffer more frequently assaults and other violent crimes. Alright. The right to drink should have a higher age of intention because of the dangers proposed by drinking. Many rights in the United States are conferred to citizens to age 21 or older. A person cannot legally purchase a handgun, gamble in a casino in most states, or adopt a child until age 21, rent a car for most companies at age 25, or run for president until age 35. Drinking should be similarly restricted due to the responsibility required to self and others. The MLDA 21 reduces traffic accidents and fatalities. 100 of the 102 analyses, 98% in a 212 meta-study of the legal drinking age, with lower rates of traffic accidents. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA, established that MLDA 21 decreased the number of fatal traffic accidents to 18 to 20 years old by 13% and saved approximately 27,052 lives from 1975 to 2008. Alright. The MLDA 21 reduces alcohol consumption in a 2002 media study. 87% of analysis found higher legal drinking ages associated with lower alcohol consumption. In 2009, the NHTSA found that the percentage of consumption in 2009, that the percentage weakened nighttime drivers with a blood alcohol concept, a BAC of 0.08 or higher, declined from 5.4% in 1986, 2 years after the MLDA was raised to 21, to 2.2% in 2007. Right, the MLDA 21 laws reduces the number of underage drinkers. The percentage of underage drinkers has decreased since 1984 when most MLDA 21 laws came into effect. Studies indicate that when the drinking age is 21, those younger than 21 drink less and continue to drink less throughout their early 20s. And that the youth do not drink until they're 21 and tend to drink less as adults. Lowering the drinking age will invite more use of illicit drugs among 18 and 21-year-olds. A peer-reviewed study from the Journal of Studies of Alcohol and Drugs found that the younger a person begins to drink alcohol, the more likely it is when they use other illicit drugs. Lowering the MLDA 21 would increase the number of teens who drink and therefore the number of teens who use other drugs. Alright, so that ends the cons section. So does anyone else see any cons? Earlier you spoke of whenever young people, they drink, they have higher chances of getting pregnant, and whenever they do, there's alcohol already in their system, and then their baby will get the alcohol baby syndrome, and it's really hard to deal with.
Right, and again, also when they're also drink under 21 also, again, it causes them to act stupid as most adults anyway.
Yeah.
But then again, you have hothead teenagers that want to fight, over stupid things. So then that can cause, like you said, the high crime rate. And it does lead into, I truly believe it does lead into using
Illicit drugs.
illicit drugs, yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else have any input? Nope. All right. Here is a page with all the references, which is also listed on the handouts that I gave you. So whenever y'all want to, y'all can go online, type that in, and look at all the facts that I showed and presented to you here. And there's also some more stuff on there. I just didn't have time to tell y'all everything today. So y'all can do your own research, and just by a show of hands, or just tell me what y'all think. Want to go down the line and just say what you think if the drinking age should be you think should it be moved back to 18 or stay at 21? So, Leon, do you think the drinking age, with the facts that I presented to you now, should be lowered to 18 or to 21, or stay at 21?
I still think 21 is better. 18, true enough, they're in the service and such as that. But legally, well, I'm going to rephrase that. I think 18 would probably be all right legally, except that just gives them a couple of years head start on their drinking and partying and such as that. Whereas if it's 21 and they abide by the law, then it gives them more time to think, well, do I want to do this or not do this?
All right. Well, thank you. So, Paula, what do you think?
Well, I think it should be moved back to 18, just for the simple fact that if they're going to drink, they're going to drink. And if it has to be back behind your back, the parent's back, they're going to do that just for the simple fact that it's a rebellion thing. And also, I just don't think that the law, staying at 21, and I have children, again, that drank before the age of 21, regardless, whether they're at their friend's house, and you don't know about it, they're going to do it. So I think it's just a rebellion thing, and they're going to do it regardless, one way or the other. But again, I do think it'll help the economy if they move it, again, for jobs, for 18-year-olds, like you said. And, I just don't think 2 years really is going to, 2 years is really good. 3 years is going to make a big difference. If they're going to party, they're going to party. And usually, by the time they're 16, they're already drinking. Most of them, regardless of whether it's 18 even.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Jacob, you're the one that's underage in the room, and I already know that you're going to say that drinking age should be to 18.
Oh yeah.
But go ahead and tell us.
I think it's 18 because, like you said, I have friends that are in the Navy that can't drink because they're not of age, but they'll be serving their country and trying to put their lives just like everybody else that's 18 and served in the military. But also, I think it will also help the crime rate go down. But that's the thing, it can wager from going to bed down because there'll be less arrests on underage drinking. There'll be less, but crimes could go up. So either way, that kind of balances it up. But I think it should just be 18, just because kids, like they say, you're gonna drink regardless.
All right, Ethan, what do you think?
I think moving that down to 18 just for the fact that, it will boost the economy and provide more jobs for more people. And if you're 18 and you're going to party, you're going to party, you're going to drink. There's really nothing else to prevent that. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it. So you might as well boost the economy while you're at it.
All right, and Judy?
Well, I think man might as well move it down to 18 because they're starting to serve alcohol at college games and stuff, and you know, they're not gonna wait for 21 to drink it, serve their ball games and.
Because either way, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
If someone else has to buy it for them, or they can buy it. Because either way, you want them to drink legally or illegally.
By the time they're 18, anyway, they're usually hanging out with 19, 20, 21-year-olds anyway, who are at parties drinking, doing drugs. I mean, they're already hanging out with that age group anyway because it's closer to their age.
Mm-hmm.
So those people are going to be drinking. So you know, more than likely, they're going to wind up, drinking as well.
Seniors going.
And it just goes back again to the parents. It just goes back to parents teaching their children to be responsible with it if they're going to do it. Even though you don't condone them drinking over the age of 20, under the age of 21, you know they're going to do it. So you just have to, constantly reinforce in their head, this is the consequences, if you're drinking and you're out there on the road, it's going to mess your life up. It's going to make it hard for you to get a job. It's going to make it hard for you to get a license in anything or certification. So all you can do is go back to parents to make them be responsible or teach them. It's still ultimately up to them, but you just make them understand this is the consequences and this is what's going to happen if you mess up. So.
And then also, I'm TAB certified actually because I'm a bartender. And I started bartending before I was 18. Or I was 18 when I started bartending, and I just turned 21. And whenever you're 21, your blood alcohol count can be 0.08%. Whenever you get pulled over, you blow into a breathalyzer. That's the legalest point that you can be till you get sent to jail for drunk driving. If you're under 21, if you have any source of alcohol on you, or if it's even on your clothes, you're going to jail regardless, even if you didn't even drink. So, if whenever underage kids are drinking and driving, but they may not be drunk, they still have a real high percentage. If they do get pulled over, they're going to jail either way for DUI.
Mm-hmm.
So lowering the drinking age will be able to prevent those kids that are actually not doing the right thing, but you know what I'm saying, trying to stay safe. They won't be punished for it, and they'll be able to do it legally and not go to jail.
Get the medical attention that they need to get if they do, wind up getting alcohol poisoning or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Well, this concludes my speech.
I agree with Paula that it goes back a whole lot to the parents and the way your kids were raised, and you're showing the responsibility and being responsible. There's not that much difference between 18 and 21. I mean, some kids is more mature at 18 than they are, other kids are at 21. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't make a whole lot of difference if you was brought up to where and taught what alcohol can do for you or to you, and drink it responsible, then 18 is all right.
All right.
And you being a bartender, you know how it feels to be responsible for somebody else drinking.
Yeah.
And you understand a cutoff time.
Yes.
So we trust you.
Mm-hmm. So ultimately, I think we all came to the conclusion that it's pretty much in the parents' hands to teach the children how to drink safely if the drinking age did get changed to 18, so they can be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you all for attending this presentation, and I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Miss Nadia.